And interestingly enough, there isn't actually a magic formula as to whom you trust.
Yeah.
What's happened to you.
Yeah.
There is something about a person that the bros have said, before that they kind of talk to.
Yeah.
And there's not even a special environment. More often than not, actually, most disclosures from the bros often occur just eating food.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something to explore. Maybe, thinking to yourself, how are you going to set the environment up? Either consciously or subconsciously, so that you can have this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, because food is such a big part of
It is.
being Māori and being Pacific Island.
Yeah.
And we gather around food, and so that's important.
Yes.
Yeah,
healthy options though, right? Ideally, I mean, we're here to talk about recovery from sexual abuse,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
also
another
mindful about gout and diabetes, so you know.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I think you're right. Food is a good way of being able to open or create a safe space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know this is probably talking towards more support people, but I think making yourself available also as a person within those communities by inviting people over for a cup of tea or having a cup of coffee or opening up your home or catching up, and just, it's sometimes out of those intentional ways of just touching base with people that things can come out. And that's I think that's also how people actually observe how you're trustworthy, just stopping for a chat or a cup of tea or a feed or something, and people can actually grow in their awareness of how safe you are through those things.
So then that in a way is kind of a good leading point to another Māori word, which is aroha. That's kind of what you're talking, or alofa.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for you, what does aroha or alofa mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, aroha, to me, I think one of the simplest meanings is to highly value someone.
Yes.
To highly value another individual in spite of what they've done or what's been done to them. And so, to give and to help people know that they're highly valued by listening well, by intentionally touching base with them, catching up with them. I think it's also, for me, aroha is about working for the benefit and success of someone else with kind of no hidden agendas, just doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So that's one way I would see aroha being defined.
Yeah, and certainly for me, I think of aroha as also being an extension of something that also can't be defined but can be experienced through fellowship, through brotherhood, through interactions with whānau. I mean, you feel the absence of aroha when you walk into a room and it just goes quiet and then everyone looks at you and it's, and so for me, I think aroha can also be sensed as well, and I'm thinking actually that aroha is probably a guiding light into what leads our men to disclose what's happened to them. There's something about that person that they feel some kind of aroha resonating from them, that they think it's now or never.
Being honest with yourself is something that's really important, I think. Like a genuine honesty and vulnerability with yourself and having compassion for yourself. And it's through that I think that you should start to look for people to help carry the load, I guess, in one sense. I think there's a simple but old saying that says a problem shared is like a problem halved. And so try not to keep it all in and reach out and look for safe people who can, at the very least, just come alongside you and just sit with you. I think that's really important. People who can just sit with you and hold the space for you. I know that's a saying that you have that I really like. Yeah. So
sit and hold the space. Don't colonize it. Give our bros some space to do what they need to do, right?
Yeah, but that's a very good point, because we can often think we have to say or do something.
Yes.
When actually what people often need is just someone to sit and listen and care and engage and touch and all of that. They can speak a whole lot more than trying to actually have to say something.
Our next video we're going to look at is how to inform our support people that we might want to talk to about what's happening to us. So be sure to send this video on to them, as well as like and share this. Kia ora.